Last week we were talking about drawing near to God and about people that have problems with praying. And I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to sort of continue that this week. People have these problems, as we said last week, because we don't live in the heavenly will of God. And we don't know how to pray. We think we have to formalize it. Well, let's just think about, a couple of issues. A lot of people get angry at God because they're praying for somebody to be healed and they don't get healed or something like that. And we don't look at what God's will is, or we don't trust in God's will. And all we have to do is look at how many people die every year and how many people get killed every year in wars and violence and everything else, and what's happened in the wars, and people that believed. And we have to realize that some of these things God allows to happen because society is not living in the heavenly will of God. And it's a societal problem. If we were all living like we were supposed to live in Eden, then we'd still have this Edenic way of being and living here in this day and age. But we don't. We don't live that way. So we have to think about living that way, which is in the heavenly will of God, in the here and now. And the more we get ourselves into thinking of what God's heavenly will is, the closer we move to God. And the closer we move to loving the whole of God's creation. And just remember that the killing and eating of animals is not in God's heavenly will. So that is showing what the problem is for most of the world. That's just one item. There's a whole bunch of things we do that aren't in the heavenly will of God. And yeah, every one of us make mistakes. Every one of us live there at times, but we are not supposed to stay there. We're supposed to catch ourselves when we're out of the heavenly will of God and put ourselves back in. Amen.